Good old technology, my old friend. See, the thing about computers and humans is that humans are not computers. And so, it can be difficult sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. These freaking computers, it can be a hassle. But it does seem like we got green lights going on. And I'm seeing it's up, so let's just roll the tape. Let's roll this thing. It's been a minute since I've been on here. That doesn't mean I don't love you guys, I just life. It's a crazy life. It's a crazy time. It's a crazy time to be alive. I guess we should just be happy to be alive, Now, it's good to see you guys. I am here in invisible mode because, well, that's just how sort of reality works these days. I know the feds. I know you guys know who I am. That was never really a deep concern for me. That you guys like. Anyways, I guess there's no time to waste. The news is always flowing. Things are just always happening, constantly, consistently, aggressively. But I hope you're having a good New Year. I feel like it's not even a new year, like, because we didn't have any holidays, we didn't have any New Year's. Everybody was just sort of locked inside, and that's actually, I realize, really important for the turnaround phase, to get that sort of fresh start to the year. Without any sort of gatherings or meetings or parties, it really doesn't feel like a fresh reset. You know what I mean? It's like we're just still here. We're just still going, which is fine, But that's just, again, one of the many things in this world that have changed so drastically. One of the many things that are just like those computers, trying to eat away at your humanity a little bit. Things go in cycles. There's no denying it. That's a natural law. And, well, when you do not follow the cycles, when you don't respect the cycles, then things start to go amiss. And without any sort of holidays, I don't know, it's hard to say, oh yeah, Happy New Year, here, let's go, we're in the new year. It really almost feels like we're still in 2020. And just like with a lot of these things, depends on who you talk to. It depends on how edgy you want to be in this world. But I'd like to think that it's all sort of planned and has been planned for quite some time. And things are really just all going according to said plan. But who am I to say? I'm no expert. I'm no mastermind here. I don't know all the facts. I'm just a human being, an anonymous human being. But that's really part of the message too. Now, before we get too deep into this episode, we might as well just dive into that thing that I posted as the title. Now, what's going on here? Dominion Voting System sues Giuliani for $1.3 billion over baseless election claims. That's a lot of money. I don't know about you guys. Personally, I do not have $1 billion. That's not how much money I have. And I'd like to think that Giuliani also doesn't have $1 billion. I know he's pretty rich, but I doubt that he has $1 billion. Let's just read a little bit of this. Dominion Voting Systems, the voting equipment manufacturer at the center of the baseless election fraud conspiracy theories pushed by Donald Trump and his allies, has sued the former president's personal attorney, Giuliani, in a $1.3 billion defamation lawsuit. 107-page complaint. accuses this former New York City mayor of having manufactured and disseminated a conspiracy theory. What a dirty word. Related to the company's voting machines. What exactly was he saying? Are they going to mention that? Dominion states that its lawsuit that has spent $500,000 on private security to protect its employees or who are facing harassment and death threats. I guess I'm not up on all the details of Giuliani's conspiracy theory, because obviously it can't be possibly true. That is the last possible thing. It can't be true. That's the point of all these articles and all of the news in general. Every time you see an article like this that is defaming somebody or some idea, and they're putting all this money behind it, well, it always makes me wonder, well, what if it was true, right? Maybe that's why you're spending all this money and writing all these articles to convince people that it's not true. Otherwise, couldn't you just let the truth speak for itself? You wouldn't need all of this information, these campaigns, right? Because this article was showing up a number of times on my feed. And I doubt even if we read all the way through, right, more Guardian advertising, just scrolling over this very short article, right? Because that's the thing about all news these days. Nothing worth reading is longer than like a page. So, you know, I guess what would be the point of doing any deeper research? You should be able to figure out everything you need to know about any subject by reading a single page of news. Now think about that for a second. Is that actually true? Think about another subject. I don't know, maybe geometry. Just as an example, I'm not really an expert in geometry, but I'm convinced that you can't know everything there is to know about geometry from reading a single page. You probably need to read a whole book, if not multiple books, to figure out everything that's going on there. And, well, just if we're talking about election fraud, and really specifically this claim, whatever Giuliani is saying, are you really going to get to the bottom of it within one page? I highly doubt it. That's just my personal opinion. So my question, I guess, to you guys out there would be, what is the point of this article? Why did they write it? And why is it being talked about in numerous news organizations? I did click on a CNN article that I'm not going to show that to you guys because, well, they're just really too aggressive about autoplaying their videos. And my opinion on that is, well, if you're reading, why would you want a video autoplaying? That's my question. But the point here, I would say, I would wager, right? It is very dangerous and horrible for you to possibly think that any sort of elections in any country at any time in any point in history have been tampered with. That is a very dangerous thing to say out loud, to think, to discuss with your friends, maybe post on Twitter. That is something just unacceptable for you to think and talk about. And a lot of people have been calling into question the U.S. elections, and you know, for many election cycles, is there a way to manipulate the votes? Is there an easy way to say, put in a thumb drive into a voting machine and manipulate the vote totals? Do vote shaving or outright just alter the votes? And I'm sure it was just sort of internal glitches, but when I was watching this most recent election, I definitely saw some curious things when I was watching even mainstream news about numbers sort of changing and shifting before your very eyes, and the pundits on screen telling you, well, don't look too closely at that, that's just some errors in reporting and it will be fixed as soon as we can get our shit together. But I'd argue the point here, in general, is just that you should not do this. Don't talk about things the government does as bad. They know exactly what they're doing at all times. And especially if you're somebody from the government, like Giuliani, I would personally argue that Giuliani is a lifetime actor. He always, well, maybe not always, but has been for quite some time. He has been in politics for an extremely long time, and then was, I guess, sort of Trump's best friend and lawyer, and just helping him out in general. And I don't know, guys. I mean, you can let me know what you think, but it does seem like he has been towing the line for quite some time, and I would argue that this is no different, that he is basically being strung up in this case. I doubt he will ever pay a cent, but the point is for you to hear about it, to be scared, and to stop doubting that any sort of strange things could be happening in any election, past, present, or future. Not to worry, they got their voter systems all worked out, and this is the theme, I guess, of this year already with the Capitol and everything that has been going on. Ideas are dangerous. They should be suppressed if they are incorrect, and if you are either accidentally or, God forbid, on purpose, sending out any ideas that could be bad or wrong, these aren't just you being dumb and, right, you just being dumb. These are now very dangerous things that you can do. Just speaking falsehoods out loud is a dangerous thing, right? That's this whole irreparable harm, unprecedented irreparable harm. Well, if it was so easy to prove the opposite, then why would this be so bad for him saying fake things, right? But again, the point would be, it doesn't matter if it's true. The point is that we've agreed that it's not true, and you should be punished if you talk about anything like this to anybody at any time. You should probably go to jail. You should probably get sued, or worse. We'll try to think of a better punishment for your conspiracy spreading, horrible personal self. Right, so here on the channel, we never do anything like that. I'm just talking about mainstream articles, and trying not to put too much of my own opinion in it. We're just going down the list, right? Nothing too dangerous about that, but even though I haven't posted on this channel in a long time, I guarantee you that now that I am making this video and it is going up, that I will lose subscribers. Every time I post a video, I lose subscribers. And I tend to think that that's not because the content that I'm making is so boring and lame, although, right, you may in fact think that. Even if you do think that, usually people do not subscribe from long forgotten channels. But I always thought that was very interesting. Every time I post a video, I lose subscribers. It's very interesting to me. But let's just look at what else is going on here. I thought this was also pretty interesting. Apparently, Trump is not done. He's coming back. All of this, like, election nonsense, right, and all the things that Mr. Trump was saying, and that got him banned from every possible media outlet. That's the crazy thing, right? It is a little insane to be getting on here on not just YouTube, but other channels as well, and risking getting everything shut down, right? And the interesting part to me is that I'm allowed to get on here and say whatever I want. Nobody can control me because it's live. But somebody like Mr. Trump is not able to get on here on YouTube. He's been banned off YouTube. He's been banned off Twitter and every possible other mainline stream that I can think of. And it's great to hear from you, Carolyn Lowe. Yeah, it's been a long time since my sort of dead serious Fugel fam days. I obviously, big shout out to Marfugel News and anybody involved in the Fugel fam. It's great to see that Marf is still out there just spreading the truth. But even That's been the crazy thing. Even the big channels like Marfugal News, Last American Vagabond, Corbett Report, they're all getting banned. They're all getting kicked off this channel. They're all getting kicked off this platform and sent to other platforms. And the scary part is that once everybody starts to move to another platform, they start to come for that platform too. Because the crazy thing is that they own all the servers, they own all the infrastructure, and we were just on here sort of borrowing in it and using it to post cat videos until, well, things just got a little bit too edgy, and it all has to just sort of be stopped. And I guess one thing that's always interested me and can be a little annoying to some of my friends and family is that I like to connect everything, especially when things don't really seemingly need to be connected. But I see a direct connection between Giuliani getting sued and this wild, insane conspiracy theory that is going on here. And that is a very good point, Carolyn. That there was this thing called the First Amendment that I guess was written in some document somewhere. I guess that isn't really like a global law. But that's something that I was brought up with as a kid, and this isn't like a left-right political thing, that there's sort of these inalienable rights, and that you're allowed to sort of speak your mind, especially if you're wrong and an idiot. Right? I sort of thought that was a thing. But I guess we're slowly forgetting what that was all about. I still got these bumpers in here. These are just to keep me on track. So now we're getting to the entertainment phase. I guess I could play some more entertaining music. You know, and I do miss doing the show because it's good practice, right? Since we're all, especially these days, completely locked inside, and I am grateful actually to have a reason to go outside at all and be earning some money. A lot of people really are just sort of stuck inside and don't have that many people to communicate with. And if this wasn't already super clear, I am a sort of a music person, a music maker, and, well, that entire economy, just like so many sectors of the global economy, has been decimated. All freelance musicians, if they're not already well, it's a little dark. I don't know anybody that's died so far personally, just from being out of work. But a lot of people have had to fold up their entire life and move into another sector. And music is a pretty rough one, right? Theater, performing arts in general, because, well, I guess this is the entertainment section. We can talk about this. Everybody in entertainment that isn't already part of sort of the upper echelon, deep in Hollywood, making mainline movies and all that, and even people like that, everybody's out of work. And the thing about getting out of work when you are an artist is the arts require practice. I have personally probably practiced, I don't know, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 hours. And the tricky thing about making music is that as soon as you stop doing it, even for one day, you get just a tiny bit worse. And practicing is all well and good, but you need performances as well. That's what really gets you going. That's what gets your blood pumping, and that's what gets you that feedback back from the audience, right? And I'm just gonna switch over the camp because this is pretty important. This is pretty important, and I guess it's my fucking show, bro. So I get to talk about what I want. The entertainment industry, right? I see this trend just sort of continuing on into this year. Performers need to perform to keep the tradition going. It's a really important aspect of tradition. Music needs to be passed down just like many of the other arts, right? Painting, theater, dance, all of these things, they need to be passed down person to person. And and without the stakes, without the all-important performances and upcoming dates, well, you lose that. You lose that tradition. And honestly, if this goes on for too much longer, a lot of these traditions that have been handed down year after year for literally hundreds of years, everything from high-end painting to playing the violin, well, I'm not saying we're going to completely forget, but everything is going to get just a tiny bit worse, just like everything, I guess, else in the world. But it really can't be overstated, the damage that has already been done, especially to the classical arts, because, well, those things, they require constant maintenance, right? It's like some ultra high-end supercar, an orchestra, or an opera, or a dance company. Without being driven, without the proper maintenance, it falls apart pretty quickly, and then you're sort of left in the dust. And I'm not sure how many people out there know sort of people in the arts, and honestly, it really is similar in a lot of other areas, right? Restaurants and all these other things. If you're a cook and you're not able to cook those meals and make those presentations, if you're just doing the takeout, well, you're probably going to get a little bit less good at cooking slowly over time. And right here on YouTube, we do like to focus on the loss of freedom, the loss of momentum in human society, but this is something I just don't really think is being talked about enough. The loss of culture. Being able to go to the theater and see some weird play that like 20 people go to, and it's really not that good, but it is a piece of culture, and something that hasn't been run through all of the censors and idea formers that are there usually in the more mainstream productions. And I see this yet again as part of sort of the overarching plan. There is a lot of subversive art, even in the classical world, that they probably like to get a handle on and slow down a little bit, and that is obviously working great. Generally in modern theater or other sort of modern art areas, that there is a lot of sort of critique of the regime and what is generally going on that is not fair or good or human-oriented. But all of those voices have been more or less silenced. So it's just something to think about if you are indeed not a big fan of the classical arts. It does have impact on this world, and it is definitely sorely missed, at least in my world. All right, that was my rant. That was my arts rant. But let's just check out this article real quick. Donald Trump will be sworn in as the 19th president of the United States on March 4th, 2021. This is the latest conspiracy theory that QAnon followed. Oh, I said it out loud. Sorry, guys. I guess I don't care about the saying the wrong words anymore. It's the latest conspiracy theory by, let me just use the sound effect, Anon followers have embraced in the wake of Biden's inauguration last week. As extremist experts are worried that it highlights the way QAnon, I said it again, adherents are beginning to merge their beliefs about the world being run by an elite cabal of Kabbalistic satanic pedophiles with even more extreme ideologies. Oh wait, let me just, so you can read along here too. Latest claims being made by Anon supporters and the sovereign citizens movement before. Oh wait, I just lost it. A group of people who believe they are not governed by the same laws as everyone else. That belief has led to violent confrontations with law enforcement, and law enforcement have viewed them among the top domestic extremists facing the threat of the country, right? So if you are not fully aware of this fact, the war on terror is over. Like everything's pretty chill in the Middle East, and we sort of solved all that Al-Qaeda stuff. I mean, I guess we're still sort of scared of China, sort of scared of Russia, worried about Iran, but there's literally nothing we can do to mess with them. And so that was pretty fun. That was all pretty fun for the sort of early 2000s after 9/11 and that whole saga. But now, like, right, that's all good. We fixed that. And now we gotta really turn inwards. We gotta see what's going on in this country, because really the main danger to the world, the most dangerous thing that is happening right now are, I guess you'd say people like me. I don't really consider myself a conspiracy theorist. I'm really just more sort of interested in the actual truth. But that has turned out to be a very dangerous way to go through life, and has brought me stigma sort of wherever I turn. And just like the Giuliani story that we were checking out before, this story at its core has the same message, that you and your beliefs, your ideas, what you read on the internet that isn't officially sanctioned by official sources is very dangerous. This could possibly cause the downfall of all of humanity. And I would argue that is a little ironic, because I would argue that the things that the mainline world controllers are putting into play are the actual sort of downfall of humanity and the erasing of everything human about humans. But then again, we do live in upside down land. Everything makes a lot more sense when you think about it as the complete opposite of what they're writing on the page, right? So I guess what they're trying to say here is, I sort of highly doubt that the T-Man is going to get back into the government. I do sort of highly doubt that. But what you're being told here is that these dangerous ideas, that's just it. They're dangerous ideas. These could actually get people killed and start a war, these ideas. And you speaking them out loud is too dangerous to be allowed anymore. Hence the endless sort of purging going on all platforms. And it's really, right, that's my whole arts rant. It's not just the platforms. It's not just what you see here online. It is all sort of exchange between humans. All of sort of human to human exchange is being slowed down and sort of frozen. And, well, I guess all these people should go to jail or get shot or killed? I'm not sure. What are we supposed to want to have happen here? But it does seem like, well, I guess they want you to think that he's coming back. And I really don't think we've seen the end of this sort of Q division, the divisions that's been caused by Trump and his just sort of being in power. They're going to keep milking that for quite some time. And maybe this is the next play, right? Maybe there is going to be sort of a group of people, and they're definitely going to be meeting on sketchy platforms like Telegram and Signal, and maybe Parler if they get it back up. They're going to be sharing ideas, planning meetings. Or maybe they're not. Maybe they're just going to be sharing dank memes and sort of looking for a friend out in this lonely world. But, right, again, you don't want to look at the actual truths. You want to look at the sort of contours or what's happening here. And I guess, at least what I see right now, maybe there will be sort of a group of people that want to be sovereign. They want to break off from the United States and do their own thing. They don't want to listen to the disease rules that are being sort of passed on to them. They want to do their own thing. And what could be more dangerous than that, right? Doing your own thing. It needs to be stopped at all times. Okay, well, I feel pretty good about that article. Let's just write my plan here. Maybe it's not the most planned out experience that you've ever experienced, but that's okay.
I think that's okay. I mean,
if you're coming,
did you have something to say?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say, if you know what the show is all about, if you know what's going on here, it's not all about being ultra planned out, because that's honestly not the best way to do things, in my opinion. Can we get that background going? Oh yeah. No, what am I trying to say here? sometimes when you don't plan things, like the world controllers are planning everything front to back, you may stumble upon an interesting thought or idea. That's as an artist, that's often how I find my best ideas and best creations are sort of by chance, by letting the mind sort of slip through the ether, right? And I'd like to see it as an opportunity, right, to get a little bit closer to the truth, because if you plan everything out front to back, well, I mean, honestly, I just think that's kind of a boring life. You don't know. So anyways, that's the show. I mean, we talked about some stuff. I mean, that was always the plan with this show. Just get on here and look at some random articles. And then just see where our brains take us, right? Sounds like scientists have found a cloudless hot Jupiter exoplanet with a 4-day year. I think that's pretty interesting. Just as a science person, an interesting science article, but I also find it interesting from the narrative perspective, just like all these things. Let me just show you this image real quick. Where is it? Right, isn't it beautiful? This 4-day planet. And yeah, with all the space stuff, they really love those numbers. I love to hear it. But I'm guessing, right, because they have talked about this so much, that basically I think the aliens are going to come and save us from our own misery and horrible lives. Because we're too stupid as humans to figure out how to live a good life. And just like everything, I'm just going to argue straight up that it's going to be a psyop. It's going to be sort of not real when the aliens show up. But nobody really is going to believe me, except maybe the fringe types, because, well, articles like this, they really just have spread this over decades, over and over again, through thousands, possibly millions of articles that the aliens are coming, right? It's smoking gun evidence. You see that down there at the bottom? It's smoking gun evidence. We got this new planet, and it really just is a matter of time, especially once they get that James Webb telescope going, that the aliens will come and save us from our stupidity, right? Because otherwise we're probably just going to kill each other and just keep suing Giuliani. I feel like Giuliani's just going to live forever. He's just going to keep getting sued over and over again and used as a punching bag. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know. Again, I just want to make clear, I don't actually know what's going to happen in the future. I don't know. I don't know if any of the things I'm saying are true, or if any of the things these articles are saying are true. But I still think it's kind of interesting and fun to get up here on the YouTube and talk about it. So, right? I could just be here. I could totally pause. I could be totally boring, but that's my right as a human, at least for this moment. So, I don't know. Let me know what you think. Give me some comments. That's the show. It's over. It's over.
That's the end of the
Show. Is it really over?
I mean, I guess. I could just leave the stream on, right?
There's nothing to stop me. And I guess if you did watch all the way to the end, you won't mind just sort of some real unfocused content here. Well, I guess it's yeah.
Right? What do you think? Did you like the show?
Well, honestly, I just feel a little bit out of practice. That's probably, I should probably get on here and keep doing the show.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, just it's your right to live. Right? Just do what you want. Do what you want. That's my message to myself and to you.
Do what you want, bro. Or brodette. Girl? Alright, now it is getting pretty unfocused. I'm out of here.